So, hello everyone. This is Nandar Matari here. I am meditation coach and trainer, and I'm so thrilled to ask questions to Daniel Gasser. And I met Daniel at one of these Toastmaster in Zurich. I visited this Toastmaster Zurich back on the first day I came back to Zurich in February, 10 February 2020. I can still remember the date. And I met her. I met him, sorry. I met him and he was giving speech. Then I just feel very warmly welcome in that Toastmaster group. He is, of course, the president of the club. Then later on, I joined the Toastmaster club. I have a lot of fun. They're giving speeches there, and we become friends. And at one point, then he also joined my 8-week group meditation. And right now, he just launched one online program. So it is for the people who get addiction problems with alcohol and all this stuff. And I myself do not have any problems with that because I get distracted all the time. I have a smoke, I try it out, and alcohol, but I cannot drink that much. So I really would like to know, as a liar who has never got with the addiction problem with drugs, but everybody has some form of addiction, but I will come back to the later on this theme. But right now, today, I would like to know about you, Daniel. So, can you tell me a little bit about your background of how you come up with the idea of creating this course?
Hi, Nandar. Thank you for having me today, first of all. And it's always a pleasure to have a chat with you. So why I came up to this is because I started to drink alcohol at the age of 13, 1-3. And at the age of 17, I was a heroin addict. I injected heroin into my veins. Brilliant idea, I know. I'm not proud of it, but that's how life goes. And I stopped to take heroin at the age of 21, 22, but I couldn't control my alcohol consumption. So I was drinking, like, not very much, you might say, like maybe 1.5 or 2 liters a beer, but every day. And I never thought having a problem, even though I crashed cars and I managed to bankrupt my company and problems in my partnership and everything, but still I didn't think having a problem until the day where I read an article, actually, stating that if you're craving for a drink while making a break of 2 days, you might have a problem. And I was laughing at that article. I was saying, yeah, come on, that's crap. And I told my wife about it, and she said, instead of laughing, why don't you try? She's very wise, I have to say. So I tried to not lose my face in front of her, but also to prove to myself that I don't have a problem. And I was craving these 2 days very hard for my beer after work, for my beer with lunch, for my beer with friends, etc., etc. All these so-called habits, they're not habits. This is an addiction. So I was shocked to see that I cannot be 2 days without drinking beer. And then I said, okay, I cut down. I drink only at weekends. A lot of willpower. It worked like for 3 or 4 months, and you know me, Nandar, I'm a very disciplined man. If I decide something, I do it. But it wasn't working. I mean, I stopped to take heroin, so I have enough willpower to do such things. But with alcohol, it's just different. It's very complicated because of the society. Society states on one hand that it's perfectly normal to enjoy your drink, even every day, to cope with stress. It's an excellent pastime. You're being sociable, etc., etc., etc. And on the other hand, they state, but if you drink too much, you're ill. And alcoholism is an incurable illness. And that's not true, because I'm cured. I cured myself from it. So I thought that there must be something wrong with society. There must be something wrong with how our society, mainly the Western society, treats the whole topic of alcohol. Perfectly normal, but then again, very dangerous. But if it's perfectly normal and if it's not dangerous, why we don't give it to children, for example? Right? And that is why it is very difficult to stop, because if you're told all the time that you're incurably ill, where is the motivation to change something? I mean, I'm screwed anyway. Why should I change them? So I did a lot of researches and read a lot of books until I found a method. It's not my method. I'm just gathering things together, which really works because it opens your eyes. It has opened my eyes on the whole topic of alcohol. I noticed that I'm not sick. I'm not ill. I have been trapped in an ingenious trap of drinking alcohol as a perfect normal pastime. You start with as a teen, you know, the friends telling you, oh, why don't you drink? You're not a real man. You're still a little boy. Come on, drink a beer, have a beer. And it's awful. I mean, the first drink you have, it tastes awful. It tastes foul and bitter. And then you have to get used to it. So there, the brainwash and the indoctrination starts already. And how you want to solve a problem which is not regarded as a problem, right? Society still states, no, drinking a glass of wine is perfectly normal. Now, not long time ago, at World War II, cigarettes were given out to soldiers, to American GIs, and they were told that this is perfectly healthy, that this cigarette makes you brave and courageous and strong. Now, these days, in the 21st century, we know better. We know that there is no advantage at smoking at all. Nothing. It's just a poison. But alcohol is even worse as a poison, as nicotine. But with alcohol, no, it's perfectly normal. And that is, I think, the main problem. And since I opened my eyes on that, the desire to drink alcohol is gone. If you give me a beer today, I smell it, I'm like, what's that? Go away with that. So the normal, natural instinct of not taking something that doesn't taste good, because that's how nature teaches us what's good and what's not good. If something tastes bad, you don't do it. But alcohol actually tastes very bad, but we drink it. So to change my mind, to change the mindset, the point of view, made the desire of drinking alcohol completely go away. And then I thought, but wait a minute, I'm not the only man 40, 50 years old having that problem. So why don't I help these people? And also, since we know each other, you teach me also that when you serve people, the universe is serving you back. So it's a give and take. What goes around comes around. So I thought, okay, how can I help people? And then I came up with the help of another coach to do this program. That's why I do it.
Yeah. First thing first, I must digest all the story that you told me. You know, thank you very much, first of all, for your honesty, you know, talking about your own past history of how you get addicted to heroin, later on with the alcohol. So it is also plausible, or you know, it is a kind of credibility that you yourself overcame this problem of this, you know, society, you know, it is forcing us to take alcohol. It is normal, but at one point you come to realize that it is not normal at all, because you're craving for it, this drink, you know, all day long, not even 2 days, you cannot stop it. And then at one point you decided, okay, I want to make a shift right now. So I'm out of control with that. So which event make you stop it or started seeking for these problems, you know, to solve these problems of addiction of alcohol?
I was at the birthday party and I decided to drive home. Although everybody at that party, it was my sister's birthday, everybody told me, stay here, you can sleep here. Where's the problem? You sleep here. And stubborn as I am, I was driving home completely drunk. And I had a terrible car accident. I crashed the car completely. It was completely warped and twisted and out of shape. And Nandar, I had nothing. I had not even the tiniest scratch. Not even my glasses were like this. Nothing.
Wow.
The next day, my wife and I went to the junkyard to get the belongings out of the car, and we were shocked. In the moment of this accident, it's night with the police and you're completely drunk and everything, you don't realize it. But the next day, when I saw the car, I really, it's even now, it's emotionally, I realized that I was really lucky to get out of this car without being hurt. And my wife also, normally, these 30 years, we're together 20 years, these 20 years when I did bad things on alcohol, like crashing cars or shouting at strangers or whatever, she always cursed me. She always said, "Oh, don't do that, that's really bad, really bad." And that moment where we're standing in front of that was used to be a car, she didn't say one word. She was silent, and I looked at her and I told her, "Hey, you don't say anything?" And she said, "It's obvious, look yourself." And that was the changing moment. That was the moment I realized, okay, man, this cannot go on like this. What if next time you kill somebody? Even if it's not a human being, but an animal, because you're drunk. Or imagine you kill a child with your car being drunk. I mean, it's a tragedy. If it happens to someone and you're not drunk, it's already one of the biggest tragedy that can happen, right? But if you're drunk and it's because you were drunk, no. So I said, no, it has to change. That was also the moment I decided to change my whole life, and I started to be interested in mindset, in psychology, in getting strong out of your thoughts and all that. It's the things to make it short, the things we're thinking today is the life we're having tomorrow. So if you change your thinking, you change your life. Of course, the emotions have to change too, but that comes along also, of course, with meditation. And then slowly, that was like 3 years ago, that slowly and surely that all changed. And I was more successful in life. I had other friends suddenly. Suddenly I was surrounded with successful people, also with millionaires. Before, just these losers, drinking losers, and shouting at the world, and nothing happened anymore, But I couldn't still manage the alcohol. So what I did, I never drank again before driving. Never, never, never. But that was not enough, because it was still this willpower thing, I don't have to drink, I cannot drink. And this is, for long period, it's not working. I mean, it might work for 20, 30 years, but you give so much energy into this that you can use for other things if you don't need willpower. And slowly and surely, this method of changing my mind about alcohol came together, and now I'm free. You can give me my favorite beer in summer when it's really hot and the beer is ice cold and everything. I won't drink it. And I don't have to say, no, I cannot. I'm just not, go away with it. Because I see alcohol now as it is, it's a poison. It destroys your brain, it destroys your immune system, it destroys your marriage. I'm lucky because my partner still loves me. Don't ask me why, but she's still here. Somehow she still loves me and supports me, but it destroys everything. And it costs you a fortune. If you drink 2 liters of beer for 40 years in Europe, it costs you around 80,000 euro. I mean, to poison yourself, you pay to poison yourself. So this is what it's all about. And I hope that I can change the thinking of a lot of people, that they see what alcohol really is, and that alcohol, it doesn't do any good at all.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story of, this tragedy, which of your car accidents. Actually, this bad luck leads you to really take serious about your problems of alcohol addiction, and you could finally make it and say goodbye to the alcohol. So, what is that program, or what did you do, or did you have a coach and to cure this addiction, or did you read a book, or what was that? What makes you change?
So I did read a lot of books, and then I figured, but how? I mean, no offense, but a lot of people don't read any books anymore today. It's just a time. It's not judgmental or everything, but it's the time. It's the way it is. People don't read. So I figured, how can I give that to people so it's easy to digest? Because you have to have a little bit of an open mind, because I will tell you a lot of things that society denies. I will tell you a lot of things that almost every expert will deny. I mean, doctors say, just as an example, that a little bit of red wine is good for your heart. Okay, that might be. But beetroot and curcuma is also very good for your heart. And has no poison in it. So why drinking red wine? You know? And I figured how to do that. So I said, okay, like 10, 15 minutes a day, that's not too much, right? Everybody can spend 15 minutes a day for something cool. So I recorded videos, 30 videos, 10, 15 minutes each, and you can watch whenever you want that. If you do it one video a day, in 30 days, you're free. If you want to do it in one day, you can do it in one day. But at the end of this course, if you follow the instructions and you follow the rules that I'm giving you at the beginning, I guarantee you that you will be free of alcohol.
It sounds very promising. Yeah.
It is. And it's
So
it's really working.
Well, what is included? And so I feel it, I feel that what you're doing is good for the people. And I also feel that, you are put at maybe a lot of experience into it. So I wanted to know, I mean, where did you learn all those principles? Or why is that working? Methods could work for everyone who has this alcohol addiction problem?
Because as we are told many lies about alcohol. So the biggest lie of all is that alcoholism is an incurable illness. It's just a big fat lie. It's not true. It's neither an illness nor it's incurable. And so what I do in these videos, that I give you a counterpoint of it, another point of view. Like, for example, take this example. If it were an illness, then a doctor should be able to diagnose it. There should be a test, right? There is none. Or what's then the difference? Because you're not starting as an alcoholic. Nobody starts as an alcoholic. Everybody starts with just one drink, right? So what's then the difference between someone drinking a little bit, I call them a normal drinker, and an alcoholic, I call them an advanced drinker? What's the difference? Or when in the period of time do you become ill? When it changes. So where does this illness state start? Or does that mean that a normal drinker is ill too, just not in the same state, or what? You see the unlogic thing behind that? Because if you have an illness, you have an illness, period. Yeah. It's not someday you have it maybe, and then you have it a little bit or not. But, so what? That's one big lie. And another big lie is for example, that alcohol does something good to you. It quenches the thirst, for example. That's not true. And there is a simple test to make. You drink a half liter of beer, and then you stop. But you still will be thirsty. You drink a half liter of water, you're not thirsty anymore for several hours, right? So there's a lot of lies and a lot of excuses going on why we should poison ourselves with this stuff. And that makes it extremely hard to stop it. I mean, if you look at the heroin junkie, right? Nobody wants to be like him. Mm-hmm. Because that's the worst case ever. He's injecting poison in his veins. But we're just drinking. And drinking is a normal thing. You drink water too, right? Or you drink a coffee or whatever. So that makes it difficult to make the difference. And what makes it also difficult, very difficult, and I think that's the biggest problem, is that 90% of all people drink alcohol. So if 90% of all people are telling you that it's perfectly normal and that you are ill, I mean, you're lost, you're screwed. How you want to change that? But if you see it differently, and I can say it, all 90% of people drinking alcohol are addicted to it. Yes, I said it. Everybody. Because everybody is just at a different state of addiction. Now, there are people, they never come to that state where it's getting dangerous or where it's influencing your life negatively. Okay, but they're still addicted. And there is another test you can make. Ask them why they are drinking. They will answer you things like, I'm enjoying the taste. Really? Take alcohol and give it to a child to drink. What the child would make? No, it's not tasting good. And then, second excuse, it quenches my thirst. Not true. Do the test with the water and the beer, etc., etc., etc. There are a lot of things going on. And when you've done that, to watch all these videos where I'm telling you these things, you just have to sit and listen. You don't even have to watch my face if you don't want to. You can just listen. Then this will change your mind. You will go through a lot of aha moments. Aha. And you know, I know everybody knows, with aha moments, we're learning.
Yeah.
So you will have a completely different look at alcohol than before. And you will look at it as what it is actually. It's a foul, tasty, poisonous liquid that destroys your life, that makes nothing good to you, and that destroys society. You know, we're talking now about this virus going on and how many people die and everything. That's a tragedy, right? But you know how many people die from alcohol? And I'm not talking about those in the car accidents. It's thousands a year. Every year people die because of alcohol. And still society thinks, oh, it's completely normal to drink. And that's what I try to change with that course.
Yeah, that is huge. That is a good one. So, I mean, I do believe and trust in that. When our soul or our subconscious might hear the truth, what you're talking about, you know, it is bitter. I also do not like alcohol at all. If I have to drink alcohol, I mean, it's also the social pressure that you also told me, right? I was born and raised in Myanmar. So in our culture is that the one who drink alcohol, especially woman, she is a whore, she's a bitch. So nobody drink alcohol, right? It is a kind of like protection for us. And I maybe like tasting the alcohol, try to taste the wine like 1 or 2 years my whole life that I live in Myanmar. So I lived there till I'm 27. So I have a 2 times or 3 times of alcohol drinking till 27. But when I reached to Germany when I turned 28, so I went to Germany and I was 1 year in Bangkok in Thailand. So then I mean, it's a kind of like pressure when I go together outside and all the people are drinking beer. So I think it's too bitter, you know, I cannot squint into it. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, if I don't drink alcohol, so I cannot be making friends with that. It is somehow in my brain, trick my own brain. Then I always, you know, drink with half beer and half glass is beer and half glass is with lemonade. So that I can swallow it, right? Yeah. And one point I come to realize, what am I doing myself, right? And then I just say that, okay, I don't do that anymore. That's why, I mean, I'm meditator, so I am also in touch with a lot of lies in the outside of this wall. But sometimes I even think that, okay, right now everybody's drinking alcohol, that I will be drinking now, and so one time in a month it doesn't do anything. But at last, as you told, as you also tell many clearly, that I mean, if you get drunk a little bit in your brain, it's mean you get drunk because the alcohol killed the brain cell, right? And I knew it. And so maybe that a lot of people don't know it. Oh my God, I like this, way of how to get drunk. Actually, your brain cell, you're killing your own brain cell. Yeah. If you know that, you won't do that anymore, right? Why don't you kill your own brain cell? Yeah. So I find it your cause is a must for 90% of the people on this wall, because 90% of the people, mostly in the Western world, also in the Asia too, a lot of people drink alcohol. So a lot of people have these problems, and I myself would like to watch it. If I have any addiction problem, I don't think so, but anyway, and I would be warmly welcome, I mean, I will share this video and also your course among my friends. So I find it very authentic, because it comes from your own experience. You overcame that, and you also talk about all of those, lies that the society is telling. Because I know that many lies, it is only one. Your specialization is only on this, alcohol. As for me, I open up the people lies. Okay, you are wanting a lot of 100 millions and thousands, and then you will be successful. But at last, what the people really want is peace, love, and tranquility. And I told them, why don't you live right now? So I have to flip all these lies into the reality. So you are the lie detector, and me too. So warmly welcome to the club, and I applaud you for your way of serving the world. And so I wanted to know how the people can find this program.
So you go on daniel-gasser.com. And there is a page called How to Control Your Drinking Habits in 10 Minutes a Day. You'll find me on Facebook too, or you just share my credentials, and then people can contact me. No problem. Okay. I just want to say something else. When you say you came to Europe and then everybody was drinking, in that statement, you were telling me like 3 times, everybody else is drinking, everybody else is drinking, everybody else is drinking. And that's a huge problem for someone who wants to stop it. If everybody around you is drinking and everybody states that's perfectly normal, it's getting difficult. I don't say it's easy to stop. With that method I'm presenting, it's easy to stop because you change your mind. And once your mind has changed, you think differently, you look differently at people, you will meet other people. I mean, you can still go to your bar if you want, but it's not the same anymore. And you will meet a lot of people. Like if you start public speaking in a Toastmaster club, you meet a lot of speakers, right? Yeah. And if you start eating plant-based, you meet a lot of vegan people. And it's the same. Your life will change because the first thing is always we have to change. We have to change our thinking. And what you said, because of the millions, a good business coach, a very famous guy, the Tepperwein, a German guy, he said once, it's not really the million you want, it's the feeling of the million. If you have $1 million on your bank account, fine. But if you have the feeling of being a millionaire, that's what everybody wants, right? And it's the same thing what you said. It's people want to be successful, want to have millions, big cars and everything. But in fact, as you said, what they want is being happy. And a lot of people also, and this is also a very false and a big lie, a statement that when drinking alcohol, alcohol makes me happy. Alcohol makes me social. But look around at people. If they drink alcohol, they're talking to themselves. It's not a discussion. They're not listening anymore to anybody. They're just telling them what they want to tell, and they're not respecting anybody. They're not sociable at all, because someone being drunk, smelling like a horse, talking to me like this from my face, giving me false compliment, what a great guy I am, this is not being social. This is egoism and selfishness, and This has nothing from a great pastime, you know. And
Yeah.
this is also a big lie. You be sociable, or you cope with stress. Alcohol helps us coping with stress. That's crap. It's just crap. I'm getting angry, you know, because it doesn't let you cope with stress. It just covers the stress. It's like if there is a fire, you don't turn out the alarm of the fire and state that you have extinct the fire, right? You have just turned away the alarm. And that's what we do with alcohol when we try to get rid of the stress. Instead of looking why we are stressed, we just drinking and say, okay, that helps me coping with stress. No, the fire is still on.
Yeah.
And that's what helped a lot of people to change. Okay, so alcohol is really not doing me anything good at all. And
Yeah.
once you have that in your mind, you don't need to have willpower anymore to resist, because there is nothing to resist to. It's just
That's
gone.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. It will be profitable to a lot of people who are open-hearted and to listen to all these truth, that you being telling in that videos. That is what I can imagine. Of course, they just need to have an open heart and just listen to it and how it can be true for me. And if the people are also ready, to say goodbye to the alcohol problem, and also, to enjoy life without alcohol, so the world will be a better place. So with that, I just would like to say thank you for creating that program. I feel it that come from your heart, because it was also your own problem that you overcame it, and right now you share it with your the world. It's mean you are living your own purpose. So I'm really proud of you for that. I'm really proud that you made it happen within a short period of time. And also, I'm very much looking forward to hear more about that programs and how you can will be helping a lot of people more in the future. So yeah, I just would like to wrap up our interview for today. So I'll be posting that. Also, this video, you can post it on your, on your YouTube channel, maybe. So if you allow me to, I will be posting that on my Facebook, on my YouTube YouTube channel too, so that the people can listen about our interviews today and also know about more about you. And with that said, I just would like to wrap up this interview. And thank you very much, Daniel, for your time and for sharing your heart and your talents with the world. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.